joined by two of those kings. So if you could please give a hand for the Senior Director of Special Projects at Brand Jordan, Gemo Wong. And for none other than one of the most amazing street artists, graffiti artists, fine artists of my lifetime, Kaws, Brian Donnelly. All right, welcome guys.
Thank you.
So, we are here in the Brooklyn Museum to talk about the sneakers that Gemo and I am wearing that you have designed, Brian. So let's get into that. I'm imagining that this story starts with you, Gemo, being at Brand Jordan. And I guess if you could tell us a little bit about, you know, when you guys are having your Illuminati meetings, talking about who you're going to collaborate with, how do you decide, you know, who is the Michael Jordan of X thing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you just said it. When you think about who the Michael Jordan of the craft, there's only so many people that fit that scope. So when we thought about who that was, we looked at all facets of culture and came across the art world because we kind of dabble in the fashion world a lot. And there was only really one person that I could think of, and it was Kaws. So it was kind of a no-brainer. And a funny story is a mutual friend of ours, Don C, introduced us. So thank you, Don. And we kind of took it from there.
Kaws, you do a lot of things. You know, obviously the fine art stuff has been sort of the predominant part of your work in the last decade or so. But every now and again, you will pop up to do a pop culture thing, like design a Moon Man. You know, or a Nike Air Max 90 every now and again. How do you decide what brands you want to partner with?
I think mostly, you know, I just sort of think of the body of work as a whole, and I try to just pick projects that fill the gaps and, you know, that I feel like is a nice addition. I think of it kind of as a whole family, and I'm pulling a new member into it. So, you know, when I spoke to Gemo about doing a project with Jordan, it was a no-brainer. You know, it's just sort of like, if I'm going to do a shoe, I'm going to work on something iconic, and this is it, you know.
So, tell me about, how long ago did you get the call to start talking about this?
I don't know.
A year and a half.
As it's funny, somebody just asked me the same question, I said about 8 months. It's a blur, you know, I tend to like work and then get busy doing something, work on something else, and so time flies. Okay.
So, in putting together the shoe, Jordan obviously has a bevy of classic silhouettes that they've produced over the years, and not everyone that they collaborate with gets the 4s, which are arguably the most premier of all models. How did you manage to wrangle that?
I asked. I don't know. Yeah, I think that was really the only shoe on the table. You know, we spoke about different shoes, but for me, I responded to the shape of the shoe, and it was as simple as that. You know, I'm not really like the guy who knows everything about every model of a shoe. I just like the 4s.
Did you have any hesitation, or were there any other models that you were interested in seeing his designs on?
It was kind of a blessing because the 4s are one of my favorites as well. So it's good that he gravitated towards it, and I'm glad that he kind of wasn't a sneakerhead. He just kind of gravitated to one of the most iconic models we have.
So when you started considering what the design would be, you know, the first 2 Nikes that you designed were both monochromatic, but played a lot with textures. Is that something that you immediately knew when you thought about doing the Jordan 4 that you wanted to continue in those veins?
You know, I didn't really start out with any goal for the shoe. I wanted to just keep it mellow and fuzzy. And, you know, when making the designs, it's sort of like, as you design a piece, things kind of expose themselves as what they should be, and going back and forth with Gemo about different materials and what's out in the market now, what's possible. They were really helpful, and I felt like it was a collaborative effort.
Tell me, I mean, there's a lot of very custom things going on in these sneakers. Did you guys push your engineers and designers to see what could be done in terms of new textures and patterns and whatnot, and offer that up, or were those asks?
Well, we went back and forth on a couple options, but with this one in particular, we broke a couple of conventional rules in terms of like OG materials and stuff like that, and how we treated the midsole. I guess if anything, we try to elevate the execution, try to make it premium.
I noticed that you use sort of the scratchy style. How do you, first of all, do you have a name for that?
Harry Sway.
The chamber of your well, I mean, of his artwork.
Oh, the drawings. No, I just scratchy style. It just sort of, I felt what applied to the project, and I thought the hands were a great fit with the shoe, and that's as simple as that.
And
the all gray, I mean,
I wanted something I can wear. Honestly, I wanted a shoe that I can wear. It's pretty mellow, and I wouldn't feel strange walking down the street.
Can we expect any other colorways of this sneaker anytime soon? Perhaps a Fraser
There's like
sample?
at least 15 dropping tomorrow.
yeah.
No, to my knowledge, honestly, there's nothing on the table.
Okay. Can you confirm or deny that?
Confirmed,
Okay. So tell me, how was it that we ended up here in the Brooklyn Museum of all places?
I mean, I figured from Brooklyn, living here, the last 17 years, actually from Jersey City, just for anybody who's kind of technical. But, I love the museum. They were the first New York museum to acquire, a large work I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, in the same lobby as I had, these monumental sculptures. I think there's a great energy to the museum, and I was excited, when we were talking about releases, it just sort of occurred to me that this could be like a great spot, and sort of not a spot you would expect for a sneaker launch.
And what were your thoughts?
I would agree. It's not every day where I don't think anyone has ever released a sneaker in a museum, so it was a great opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you hope that it's a sort of cross-pollination of people coming together. This is a great space to do that.
When you think about sort of the body of your work, and you were saying that you take the opportunities that you feel like fill out, your canon rather. Like, where do you think that the sneakers fit in that?
I try not to overthink. It's a fun project for 2017. It's like 10 years since I designed the first one. I guess it came out in 2008, but if you look, the signature's 2007 is when it was made.
Yep.
It just felt like the right time. It's like a nice clean number, 10. And I don't know. I always go just through basic feeling about stuff, and when I think there's a good time to push on something or something else, and it seemed like a great time to do another shoot.
For many fans of your brand, it's been a few years since Original Fake was rest in peace. So I think many people here are very excited to be able to have apparel that has the X's on it. How was that experience of getting back into designing apparel?
I mean, it was great. Original Fake was a really great project for me. It was a great learning project, and I did it, and I feel like now I know what it's like to have a store and a company, and that's great. And then I was ready to just get into some other stuff. I like the fact that doing, a project like this, I can jump in, focus, get it done, and then move on. And so that's kind of just where I'm at mentally.
Do you have a favorite piece in the collection?
I think the shoe, really the project started with the shoe. It's about the shoe. Everything else was like in addition to.
All right. Is there anything else that either of you would like to add?
I think this is a piece of history, if anything. If you look back 10 years from now, what 2007 meant to the sneaker world, I think we made a little piece of history, and I think that's the mission with any collab that the brand tries to be a part of. So, congratulations.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations
Thank you.
to both of you guys. It's an amazing
Thank you,
show.
Noah.
Thank you guys all for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you guys for your time. Thank you, everyone.